Okay, so our recording is starting right here, but you'll at least see where we were when we started. Okay. All right, the next one, A flat, right? C, E flat. So, right, are we in agreement?
Yes.
All right, A flat, C, E flat,
This is first.
another one chord. And by having them all written up there like that, I don't even have to think about is it major or minor because I already put those up there because they're always the same. 2 is always minor, 3 is always minor, 6 is always minor, 1, 4, and 5 are always capital, and then the 7 diminished is, with a little degree. So you don't even have to think about is it major or is it minor. Just copy what you already wrote up there. All right, so this one here, what do we got? E flat, a G, and the B flat would be right here, right?
Fifth.
All right, E flat, G, B flat.
E fifth.
There it is, another fifth. And which note was in the bass?
It was E.
Okay, so it's just like this. It just went back to this same chord we had here, right? Just like that one. Exactly same. All right, what we got here? A flat, and it's a half note, so it applies to both of these chords. A flat, we have an E and a C. The C would go between the A flat and the C, right?
Mm.
A flat C. We
This
already
first.
got one here. A flat C, E flat, which is a
First. First.
one. And the A flat's in the bass, so there's no figured bass. Isn't this easy?
It is.
And that's the same chord. If it's the same chord, we don't have to write it again. So that's the same chord. We have another A flat, C, E flat, same chord, right? These are all
Mm-hmm.
one chords. We could look them up, but I think you can see that's another A flat, just like this one. You already had one of those. And this one, what's that note?
E G.
E, G. And what's the one up here we're missing?
B.
B. E, G, B.
Making it fifth.
All right, that's a fifth. Very good. Fifth. What kind of cadence ends in a 5?
Um. Hold on. Is
Huh?
that perfect authentic?
No, no, no. That one is 5 to 1. That's the one we usually end with. What's the one that ends on a 5? Like it's open question that hadn't been finished yet.
Um.
You remember? If it ends on a 5, it's called a half cadence. They didn't finish it. They didn't go to a 1 or anything. They just left it there on the 5. So that's a half. You only have 4 cadences you have can pick from. You've got you've got the one that ends on a 5, and it doesn't matter what was before it, okay? It could be any note coming before it. It's usually going to be a 1 or something, but regardless, if it ends on the 5, okay? If this is a 5 and now you're about to start a whole new phrase, it didn't go to a 1 yet. A 1 is an authentic. Perfect, authentic. We don't even need the word perfect here. We don't need perfect or imperfect. We just know there's half ends on a 5, and then you have 2 of them that end on a 1. You got a 4-1, which is the amen, right? And you got a 5-1, which is usually the end of the hymn. 5-1, that's the authentic, okay? Perfect, authentic, or just authentic, all right? Then you got deceptive. That's where it goes from a 5 to a 6, which is strange, weird, okay? And that's an unusual one. But this one is a half. You're going to usually see a half cadence at the end of the first phrase because it's like asking a question. So if you listen to it, you can tell there's more coming, right? It's not done. It didn't go to it's a half cadence. All right? We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now hang on. Let me move this up a little bit. Oh, okay. I guess I'll just leave it where it is. All right. Okay. Now let's do the second part. So we have what are our notes here? And of course, oh wait, here we have A flat. Oh,
Wait, so it's just a E, G, B flat making it a fifth.
yes. Let me put my here. Let's put our key back in here again. A flat. We're going to put the key down here again. A flat. Okay. All right. So E, G, B, you already said it's a fifth, and it's in root position, right? E flat is
Yep.
in the bottom. There we go. What's our next one? A flat, C
Yeah, it's just
flat.
it's a first.
Just all right. Good old one chord. And then here, look at this one.
It's the same thing.
All right, call these out to me.
Oh wait, never mind. A, G.
Okay, E and a E. All right, and a G.
And then a D.
And what else?
A D.
Okay. All right, I've got it stacked up here. Take a look at it. E, G, B, D. We've got a seventh chord here
Interesting.
because it's got 4 notes in it.
But it's still a fifth, but add a
It's still
7.
a fifth. It's a 5/7. Now,
Okay.
is it inverted? What note was in the root?
It was I think it was just the E.
It was.
So.
Oh, my cap locks are on. How did I do? Oh, I've stepped on it. It's on the floor. Cap locks. What did I do? Okay. Here we go. All right. So, yes. Now, let me take a second, to review. Remember I told you that in a triad, if the root is in the bass, it's this one.
Yep.
It's nothing. Then 6 and 6/4. Let me go ahead and review for the 7th chords for you. Now, this one is in root position, I think, so it'll just have a 7, right? But if this note, the second note, you have a root 3, 5, 7. If this one is in the bass, we would have put a 6, 5. Just memorize these. 6, 5 is if that one's in the bass. Okay? If they put the B flat in the bass, if it's E flat, G, B flat, D, but they put the B flat down here in the bass like this, then we would call that a 4/3. 4/3. It would be a 5/4/3. If the top note is in the bass, it'd be a 5/4/2. Oops. So those are really the only things you have to memorize for the figured bass. 7 if it's in root position, 6/5 if it's in first inversion, 4/3 if it's in second inversion, 4/2, just depending on which note they put in the bass. Same thing here, which note they put in the bass. Now in this hymn, just about everything is in root position. I think we had that one chord that was in second inversion. But if you end up seeing a 7th chord, you stack it up and there's 4 notes, you don't have a repeated note, then you know you got a 7th chord. And now you got to look, after you figure out what chord it is, it was a 5, 5, 7, then it would be a 5, 6, 5, or 5, 4, 3, or 5, 4, 2. Got it? Easy? Easy peasy? All right, so let's go back to our analysis. Get down here, you. Okay, here we go. We said that was a 5/7 because of that D flat that they stuck here, right here. That made it a 7. 7. You can tell what that says, I think. All right. Now, look at this next one.
It's FAC.
FAC.
Meaning it's a minor 6th.
That's it, a minor 6. And after we just a second ago, and it went, hold on, okay. After we just a second ago talked about the other kind of cadence there is, if this was at the, we would call this a deceptive cadence, right? 5/7, because usually a 5/7, let's see, we would usually expect it to go right? 5/7 to 1. 5/7, that's what a deceptive cadence sounds
Mm,
like. Now, we're not
okay.
going to label that a cadence because it happens right in the middle of a phrase,
Mm,
but I wanted you to see. Isn't that interesting that he chose to do that, the
yeah.
composer? So we had a 5/1. I love that. I love a deceptive cadence right in the middle of a phrase. Isn't that neat?
Mm,
And the F is in the root, so we don't have to put any figured bass on it. We just, well, I didn't even put it down here, but it's this one. F, A flat, C. All right. Okay, so now let's look at, that was a 6. Now what's this one? A D flat, F, E, A
it,
flat,
wait.
and I'm gonna use my, what did we say it was? D flat. D flat. I don't bother to even count them on my fingers. I just look up here. D flat.
Fourth.
It's another 4, right? Not right. 4. It saves you because I've made so many mistakes just trying to, and I think, oh, that's a 5 or whatever. And no, because I forget, I can't visualize those those numbers in my head. So I look up there and there it is. All right, then what have we got here? A flat chord was A flat, just like this one.
Oh, this
Same like
first.
this one. In fact, look at this. You have the same thing here. In fact, he started it the same way. He had a 1, 5, 6, and then the 6. 5, 7's a 6, just like here. Going to the 4, going to the 1. He kind of repeated it. Okay, let's see. All right, he didn't the next one is not repeated. What is this one? We have F,
With
A flat, and C, right?
yeah, so it's just a minor 6.
That's it, another 6. Come on. I hate if that thing pops up and now, okay, another 6. Just a 1 to a 6 this time. It's not like a deceptive cadence sound. Okay, and then what do we got here? E flat, G, B flat.
It's a fifth.
That's a 5. Okay, what do we got here? Another 5, right?
Mm.
Also in root position.
Wait.
Right, E flat, G, B flat.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. They just moved the B flat from down here to up there. Okay, what do we got here? A flat. It's just like this one, right? A flat.
Yep. It's just A flat C E
Just a
first.
plain old tonic 1. Okay, and another one. This is all 1. A
Same
flat.
thing.
Nothing but A flats and C's and E
Mm.
flats this whole measure. So we don't have to really do anything. We don't have to write it again. I did up here, but you don't have to. Now what do we got here? We got a E flat, a G, and a B flat and a D flat, like we had over here, right? So let's see. Let's write them up here. We have E flat, G, D flat, and B flat. E flat, E flat, E flat, G, and that D, and the B flat. So that's another 5/7, right?
Wait.
Look
Yeah. Hold
at
on.
it again. Right here, we have an E flat in the bass, and then a G, and the D flat, which I put up on the top because they're all space notes, and B flat. Right? So I put that B flat here, right in the middle. So it'd be all space notes. E flat, G, D flat, B flat.
Wait. Is there not an A?
Let me see. Oh, not until next. We're still doing this one. We already did this one. This was a 1.
Oh, that's the one I was looking
Yeah,
at.
this whole measure was 1. That whole
Okay, that's the one
measure
I was
was
looking at.
1. But if it's still a 1, you don't have to you don't have to write it again. We've just had it changing chords every single one. I didn't
Mm.
have to write it there. I could have just left it because it's all one. You could have a one and don't do anything again until here. So I'm sorry that was confusing. That was on me. So in fact, this one, two fives, you don't have to put the second one. If there's nothing there, I'm going to assume that means it's still a five. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just saves you having to write it every single chord. Doesn't hurt anything to write it every time, but you don't have to. All right, so this is the one that I was doing, and you were still on this one. So we have an E flat, G, B flat, D flat, and that's the one we said
The seventh.
is the 5/7, right? Hold on. Okay, 5/7. All right. Now this one here, I sent everybody out an email to say, look, you got something there that we didn't talk about until this week, which is called a non-chord tone. That A flat and F does not belong in any chord that has an E flat, right? You can't stack it up. So E flat,
Yeah.
F, those are non-chord tones. Those, and this is what we call a neighboring tone. They just did it to make it to pretty up the melodic line, and it doesn't fit it, and so we mark that doesn't belong in the chord. That's just a little piece of decoration they put in there. And you have three different kinds that we're looking at. We have neighboring tones where it goes down a step and back up to the note, or up and then back down, or like in Furelise, that D flat, D sharp is a neighboring tone, just goes back. So this is a neighboring tone, and I didn't mean to put one that has a non-chord tone in it, but we did. But it was kind of a good segue into this week where we're talking about non-chord tones,
Mm-hmm.
where they fill things in between the chords. So that's what this is. And if you have a neighboring tone, you would just write it like this: N, N. It looks like a W, but N, T. And we have another one down here. That F does not go in that chord, and it doesn't go in this chord either. It doesn't stack up. If I do E flat, F, D flat, A, there is no chord. So this one also is another neighboring tone. It goes right down from a G to an F, back up to the G. A neighboring tone goes down by step and then back up again, or up by, it's like the neighbor sticks his head in to visit for a second and shuts the door and goes back to the original chord. So that's another neighboring tone. So that's just a little aside there. That's how we would show that. And we'd circle it to say that's not part of the chord. Now, a passing tone would be if they went in, let's say, and they put a B flat here and made an eighth note, and they did like that. B flat doesn't go in there, and that's called a passing tone. It goes up by step and up another, resolves, exits by step. Or it could go down. If we had one, maybe put a D between the E. So a passing tone steps up between the notes or down between the notes. Neighboring tone just goes down and back up, or up and back down, and that would be a PT. But we didn't really have one, but this is how you would show it. You would circle it, and you would say PT, and you'll see that in this week's exercise. And we'll go over that too, but we don't have to do it right now. All right? So anyway, you can ignore that. That's not really there. That was just pretend. Is that erase? Yeah, I could erase this, right? Look at that. And me. Okay, I messed it up, but anyway. All right. Now, let's go back to where we were. Okay, here we go. And we've got another 5/7, right? It's the same exact chord.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to write it again. I'm just going to leave it. And what is this? A flat, C, and E flat, A. That's just an A flat C
Yep.
chord. It's just a one,
First.
right?
Yep. So
Now,
those are both same thing.
right. So this is our authentic cadence, correct?
Mm.
5/7 to 1. There's no better way to establish the key that you're in than as to end it with a 5, 7 to 1. And now you're ready to go to verse 2, right?
Mm.
So we ended it with an authentic cadence. The amen is just an extra cadence at the very end for the last verse. But this one here is authentic. Or you might say, if you want to say it's a perfect authentic cadence, you could do that. But it's not necessary. This semester, we're not so concerned about perfect or imperfect. We just care if it's an authentic, means 5 to 1. Okay?
Mm.
And then now, what's this? We have a D flat, F, A flat, and it's the amen cadence, so you already know what that Roman numeral is going to be. D flat,
Fourth.
4. Plagal cadence is 4 to 1, also called the amen cadence. 4. It's just a bonus cadence at the end. If they do amen, it's usually going to be a 4 to a 1. And that's called plagal, the plagal cadence. P L A G, plagal. A-L. All right? That was it. That's the whole thing. So if you just put those numbers into your sheet and compare it with what you had, I think you're going to find out this was a whole lot easier than what you were doing, whatever you were doing.
It is.
Okay?
Mm.
So we've been at it for 45 minutes. Next time, so what I want you to do for this week, okay, is go back and do the one for, hang on, this one, week 1. Go back to that one again. Okay, and you're gonna see it's the very same thing.
Okay.
1 sharp is G, right? We'll do a little bit of it together. G. Oops. Now what I would normally, wait a minute. Let me get my little hand again. In this case, you tell me what you would start with doing. What would be your very first step?
Find the key.
Find the key and then do what?
Make that chart.
Make your chords. That's it. You would do the same thing here. Okay? Except you would start with the G, B, D and use that as your reference. And then you'll go to every chord, and they're all root position, I think. If I may be wrong, but anyway, and you'll have a 1. Is it G, D, F, A? You know, you'll look and just do the same thing we just did. When you get to the end here, that's going to be a half cadence, I'm sure, right? D, F, A, in the key of G. It'll be a half cadence ending on a 5. Okay, so so take a crack at that. It shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes to do it. If you have your sheet in front of you that has your chords, and then all you have to do is look up the Roman numeral. If it's a 2 or 3, it's little. 4 or 5, it's capital. 6 is little. 7 is diminished. And then just see what's in the base. You know, nothing to it, right? You think you feel better now about doing a harmonic analysis?
Yes, ma'am.
That's how I do every one. Exactly like that. And your scratch paper, that's your best friend. Make sure you've got that on hand, and a pencil and a nice thick eraser. And I even uploaded staff paper in module 1 so you can print those and have
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
I had to print some before today because I ran out. So, okay?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
go ahead and take a stab at, go back and do homework assignment 1 again.
Yes, ma'am.
Won't take you any time. Make a copy of it for me and text it to me so I can just make sure that we're still, that you're clear in your head on how we're doing that.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
Now let me show you real quick the assignment for this week. You're going to die when you see how easy it is. Okay? Hang on a second. It is wait. Okay. Wait. Oh, let me go to is in downloads assignment. Wait, it's not that one. Yeah, it is. It's 3 pages. Okay, I'll show you the first page. You'll see how easy it is. What I did was I did the harmonic analysis for you, so you don't even have to do that. I circled all the ones that don't belong in the chord, and I'm asking you to tell what kind it is. And I already did this one. Passing, they're okay. I circled them so you know they're going down by step. They're passing tones. You have passing tones. This one here, where it goes from a C, B flat, down to a C and back up. You remember what that was called?
Where are you?
Oh, okay. Can you see what's on my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this circled note right here, you need to identify: is it a passing tone? Is it a neighboring tone? And then the other kind of note is an escape tone, which we'll get to that. But is it a passing tone or is it a neighboring tone? Can you tell by
Wait,
looking at it?
which one?
That the one that's circled, that you're only identifying the circled notes. I already did these for you. Passing tone, these are all passing tones. I did those for you. This is the one you got to do. We got to either put a PT for passing tone or NT for neighboring tone. Which is it? Can you tell? Goes down and back up?
I don't know where you're at.
Okay. See the do you see where my pointer is pointing?
No,
Oh,
I don't think so.
okay. So you're not seeing, what are you seeing on this screen?
Just the thing. The
I,
I seen the might be
oh,
word. I
okay.
think.
Okay. We're only dealing with the notes that have circles around them. Okay, I've done a
Yes.
harmonic analysis and I determined this is a chord and this is a chord. This B flat does not belong in that chord. They stuck it in there just to kind of fill in a little space between two notes, and we're trying to identify: is this a neighboring tone that goes down and back up or up and back down, or is it a passing tone? It's just a decorative thing they do to make the melody more interesting. And here they did it in the alto, so they have an alto line that goes, oh wait, okay, that B flat doesn't really belong, but they did it just as a decorative embellishment. And the two kinds of embellishments we're looking at are the ones that go up, or those are passing tones. Neighboring tones go either like, or they go, just goes down and back up, or up and back down. Which one is this one doing? C, B
Neighboring.
flat, C.
Neighboring.
Neighboring. So you would go and put a NT above it. What about this one? G, A, B. See the A?
Okay.
Is it passing between them, or is it a neighboring tone that just goes back to the same note?
Neighboring.
No, G, A, B.
Oh wait.
If it's stepping up and keeps going in the same direction, goes up by step, back up, up again by step, like these did, these came down, down by step, step, step. B, A, G, F. Those are passing tones. So this one, G, A, B, it's just going up. It's just passing, right?
Mm,
You get it?
mm,
G, A, B. There's only
yeah.
two choices. You got the neighboring tone that goes down and back up, or up and back down. Neighboring tone just goes to the neighboring note and then comes back where it started. we're looking at the voice. G, this is alto, C, B, C. This is soprano, G, A, B. They're looking at one voice in the four, in the four voices. That's what we're looking here. We're not looking at the chords, looking at the melody in that voice. So if it's going up by step and then going again by step to the next note, that's called a passing tone. Okay?
Okay.
So that would be a passing tone. G A B, passing. It's just passing that space between them kind of is what it's doing. Just going up. See if you can figure out this one. Oh, this is just like the beginning. Here's our chord tone. They put two of them between, just kind of passing on their way down from one to the next. So I've already identified that these are not chord tones. So your job is to say, are they passing tones or are they neighboring tones? What would you say? Are they going down, 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 up, 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 up? Or
Neighboring.
are they going down and back? Huh?
Neighboring.
No, neighboring is this one. This one, remember, it goes back to the same
I don't
note.
see the pointer, so I don't know where you're at.
Okay. All right. In the second line, spread the flowing. Spread. Okay. Yeah. Okay. In the third
Okay,
measure, in the second line, that
I see it.
spread the flow.
That's passing.
Passing, correct. So you would put a PT above those. And the same thing in the bass, in the tenor and bass. Everybody's passing here. Da 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 da, that's passing too, right? So you would mark those as passing. Now look at the next line down in the next measure. In the
That's neighboring.
alto, we've got C's abroad. What is that? Passing or neighboring?
That's neighboring.
Neighboring, good. And then
I
in
get it.
Yeah, see what I mean? It
Yeah.
and so they're all going to be the same way. They're either passing or neighboring. Just put a PT if it's passing up, and or like this when they're passing up. So we have Bill, the da 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 passing. Okay, and let me look at page two. Page two. I think you're getting the hang of that now, understanding what we're doing. We're just looking at the melody. So here, B, C, D, passing or neighboring?
Hmm.
In the I sing, da da
Well,
da,
that's passing.
passing. And the altos also has a passing one, so that one in the middle is a passing tone also, D, E, F. Okay, and then we have a couple more over here toward the end that are ordained. You have A, B, C. What's that?
It's passing as well.
Passing. And the one in the tenor, F, G, A,
Also passing.
passing. And then you've got in the next one here, next line down, you got a B, A, G, F. Da 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 da.
Also passing.
All passing. We have two passing notes in now what about on the bottom line? C, B, C.
That's neighboring.
Neighboring.
That's
And
so easy.
isn't it?
Yep.
It is. It is easy. Once you understand what you're doing, oops. Now let me show you page 3. This was this week's assignment. So you've already done this week's assignment almost completely. Look at this one. Okay. All right. So we've got the left hand. So clearly that's not in the chord, right? That D. I've circled it. Da da da. What is that? E D E.
Passing.
E D E. No, it's all
Oh
in the
wait.
same voice. Soprano.
Oh wait. That's neighboring.
Neighboring. Now E F G.
That's passing.
Passing, and you have the alto also. Both of those are passing. So only here it's just the one. It's just soprano. Remember, we're looking at each voice: soprano voice, alto voice, tenor bass, tenor or bass. So look at what the next note, previous note, and next note in that voice is. So soprano, E D E would be neighboring, and then the soprano E F G is passing. Okay. Now let's look at the last one down here. We have F F F G F. What's that one?
Neighboring.
Yeah, neighboring, good. And same thing in the alto. D, F, D. Okay, right?
Yep.
Neighboring. All right, what about F, E, D,
Passing.
passing? D, C, B. They're both passing. Same thing on the next line. E, 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 D, E. What's the D? Da, da, da.
Neighboring.
What'd you say?
Neighboring.
Neighboring. And then E, F, G,
Passing.
passing. This one is the only one we haven't talked about yet. It goes up by a step and goes down by a leap. And that's called an escape tone, E-T. So that one, and if you look at your materials in the book, in your book, I think page 165 and 166, it talks about the three types that we're looking at: passing tone, neighboring tone, or escape. Escape is the only one that doesn't either go back up and back down, or this one goes up and then down to the one by a leap. It's like a neighboring tone, except instead of going E D E F E, it goes E F D. It goes by a leap. That's called an escape tone. So that's the only one that's different, and that would be at E T. Okay, I picked that one because it had one in there. All the rest of these are just neighboring and passing. C B C. Gather. This is in the chorus first measure. Gather at.
Wait, can you see the?
Yeah, yeah, in the okay. Did you see the one I was talking about? That's the escape tone, flowing by.
Yes.
That's on the second line.
Yes.
Second, okay, that's the escape tone. That's the only one that's different from all the others we've done, which are passing and neighboring. I put it in there just because it was the only one I could find to illustrate that one that they showed you in the book. Da da da. Okay, okay, but looking now in the chorus, back to yes, we'll gather at CBC.
Neighboring.
Neighboring. And the tenor goes da da da.
Neighboring.
Neighboring. And then we have soprano and alto in a duet, both of them going da da da, which is
Neighboring.
neighboring, and a bunch of neighboring ones here. Da 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 da, three of them in a row. Okay? Right? Now, if they didn't have a C sharp, if they had a C there, just a C natural, that would actually not be a non-chord tone. That would be a 164 or something, right? But that C sharp is a dead giveaway that it doesn't belong in that chord. It's a C sharp all the way through. So those are all neighboring tones. Look at the last line. Gather with the saints at da da da.
Passing.
No, da da da.
Oh, neighboring.
Neighboring. And then da da da.
Neighboring.
Neighboring. And that's it. So you could even do that assignment. I think you got that one. You can get that one in before the end of the week and have that one on time. So then we'll have two done, and just the assignment. The first assignment is even easier than the one that we had last week that we did together. So do it and see if you can get assignment one and this week's assignment with the passing and neighboring tones. See if you can get those to me on time by Sunday, and we'll be
Yes,
just
ma'am.
about caught up.
Yes, ma'am.
You feel better about it?
A lot better.
Good, good. Because if you can just get that whole thing that we were doing of the harmonic analysis, that's all you need to be able to build forward from, because we're not really covering a lot of new content in this semester. It's really just going to be delving more into those those triads, and the stuff you've already done. But I think once you get this part under your belt, just remembering one, little two, little three, big four, big five, and everything in your harmonic analysis needs to be one of those. Don't be sticking any creative stuff in there like, capital 3 or something. everything. And looks like you did get some of them right. But if you'll use your chart, you won't go wrong. I depend on it, and I do it that way every time.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Sounds good.
All right. And I'll make a copy of I'll send you I'll put this on my YouTube and send you a link to it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And it's 3 o'clock, so let's adjourn, and I will talk to you soon. And we'll
Thank
meet
you.
next week too. We'll do the homework too, the second assignment, and I might give you another harmonic analysis, just so you'll have another one under your belt, and you'll be good to go.
Yes,
You'll be
ma'am.
right up with everybody else.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds good.
Good. All right, babe. Talk to you soon.